with Drew Blair.
Well, you may have tasted our next guest recipe and not even have known it. That's because his passion is served by Joseph DeQuee's restaurant in Roanoke.
Joe Bellavance has taken the art of the perfect loaf of bread to a whole new level. It's called the Bella Artisan Bread Kit and allows you to make the perfect browned and crusty on the outside, moist and airy on the inside. Ooh, doesn't that sound so good?
Sounds awesome.
Loaf right at the comfort of your own kitchen.
And we welcome Joe here this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure, thanks for having me.
So where did your passion for baking bread start?
I just love the smell and taste of toasted wheat, and I tried for years to make the perfect loaf. Failed miserably, and I just kept trying till I eventually, figured it out, at least for me.
Yeah, well, it looks like you did. I mean, when I think of baking bread, I think of my grandma making the fresh bread, and I was a little kid, but it just seems so labor-intensive and difficult.
No, this is this is extremely easy. There's about 10 minutes of handling time total. It's a no-knead recipe, so there's no workout as you're trying to make the bread. It takes about 5 minutes to mix it, and the key ingredient really is time. You let it rise for 18 to 24 hours, and then you remove it from the bowl and shape it. It takes 5 minutes, and you bake it.
So your bread is served at Joseph DeQuee's. How did that relationship begin?
Well, I would eat there occasionally, and I was really obnoxious and would bring my own bread in, not to serve at my own table, but to share with the kitchen staff because they're very friendly down there. And eventually I said, do you think you'd be interested in buying the bread and serving it to your customers? And they said, sure. So I took that as a high compliment, that it was good enough for them.
Let's talk about this bread kit, what we get, and once we get it, how we put together a loaf of bread.
Sure. It contains all of the kitchenwares, ingredients, recipes, and techniques. I disclose everything I know. Not a lot, but I disclose everything I know, and I'm kind of a teacher and coach by nature, so my goal here is to help you succeed. I've taken what I've done for DeQuee's and put it in a box, basically, and the goal is to help you bake world-class bread in your own kitchen right away, very easily.
Wonderful.
All right, can you take us through the steps, show us what it's all about?
Sure. I didn't bring the dry ingredients because they're very basic: flour, water, yeast, and salt. And after you mix it up, it looks just like you would expect it to.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy there. After it rises, again, this is about an 18 to 24-hour rise, you'll see a lot of the bubbles in the top there, and that's just the natural fermentation of the yeast. After that, you can just, I'm going to shape it here for you if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Please do.
Yeah, so you can just remove it from the bowl, and you can see that there are a lot of, you see these strings here?
Yes. Yes.
Those are the gas bubbles. You want to try to preserve those.
Okay, so that's a good thing.
That's good. And this dough is a little wetter than I usually like. I would let it sit here for a while. While it was sitting here, I would put what I call bread dust on the bottom of the pot, and this would just prevent burning and sticking.
Sure.
And I like to finish my bread with a little salt on the top and the bottom. This is some red Hawaiian sea salt that's harvested from clay. And then I would take the dough and shape it very quickly into a boule, which is French for ball. And I try to build a little tension on the outside.
Looks like you've done that a few times before.
Yeah. It's actually very easy once you get going. All you're doing is forming a ball. And you kind of seal it up like so.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you take it and you put it in here, and you would finish it with some oil. And this is some oil from the Olive Twist, which is a new store down on the southwest side of town.
And so that small little ball will end up being the size of that
Yes, it would
loaf.
raise some more. You generally want to let it proof for about 20 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
And it will obviously grow, and it'll grow more in the oven with the oven spring. And I include a lame, which is French for blade, and you just slice it, and that's how you get the nice scores on top, the nice lines.
Oh, sure.
And what happens is, the reason this creates such a great crust is because the key to crust is steam, and professional bakers have these steam-injected ovens. Well, who can afford that at home? Nobody.
Right.
So what happens is that you cover the pot, and as it bakes, the water escapes from the dough, and it's trapped by the cover, so it steams itself. So you keep the cover on for part of the time, and then you remove the cover and finish browning the bread, and it comes out looking like that.
Well, Joe, you've made this look so easy.
You really have.
You get all of this with Joe's bread kit. We're going to post all the information about that kit on our First News Weekend page on Wayne.com. Head over there. I'll be back with the forecast after this.